Hey y'all, it's Darryl Johnson. Ride the Wind. I knew I said I was going to do this for a little while, but I kind of have to. I got back on the cams today. Well, I worked on some music, but I got back on the cams today. As this coronavirus escalates, all I thought in my mind, and I'm sure you have, is there is a darker intent behind that. And when I start hearing things about being locked down, state lines closing, the National Guard already out there, more military movement, thanks to my friend Trumpet in Zion, that's where you need to be. Trumpet in Zion. This guy's amazing. He was going to quit last week. I think I've already stated this. But he hung in there and he's nailing it. Back roads, back railways, rocket launchers, tanks. There's a song I'm playing right here, Last Mohicans, has more meaning than we think. Okay, so I get on the cams. I want to be real quick about this. I get on the cams. I start in Japan. I think it was Japan. Okay, so during the day, it's dark in Japan. So I'm in Shizuoka, I'm in Tokyo, I'm in Kamata, Hugota, Kagoshima. The main places I like to hit. I can always score there. And it did not take me long. What is above these countries, or let's say Japan alone? I haven't even taken off a whole week. What is coming through has multiplied by 10. Now, gauge that with the intensity level that they're cranking up on the virus every day, and I am not belittling the virus, the people who are sick with it, the people who have died from it. It's a real deal. And they all deserve prayers. And we all need to do what we need to do to protect ourselves from getting into that situation, especially myself, who's already got severe lung issues. So anyway, I captured it all. A couple of the videos I've already put up on, I was in Indonesia too. A couple of the videos you may have seen, I've already put them up on Facebook. The last time I looked at Jakarta, Jambi, Indonesia was probably about 6 to 8 months ago. The day I watched those planets flame above the highway that's in that video, actually it was the day after, 3,000 people died. That night I called USGS societies. I called everybody I could think of. So I saw it. I knew it was coming. And I woke up the next morning to a death toll of almost 3,000 people. That's what you get by looking at cams. It's very hard. You know, when you know this stuff is going to happen and your hands are tied. So again, let's associate that. Let's get that back to the original point of associating it with how they're cranking up the panic, the lockdowns, the talk of, well, the National Guard's out there. We're one step away. We're one step away, gang. Before I finish, the ultimate plan, I think, really I know, is to have their thumb on us. We've already proved we cannot deal with a panic situation. We did that with banner colors. We passed that test with a gold star, or failed it with a gold star. However you want to define it. We blew it. Because we pumped, we actually breathed breath into the beast by pushing the agenda, but as I stated before, posting. The information I'm seeing now being posted is cool. It's intelligence stuff. It's not fear-mongering crap. It's not coming out of people who aren't even doctors. It's not coming out of channels. It's people who are intelligently posting things on my Facebook. Kudos to you guys. Thank you. And I know who you are, and you know who you are too. Point being, at the end of that is test your theory. Do your research. Research it again. Find another PhD to agree with what you're thinking about. Find another one after that to agree with what you're thinking about. And then before you hit that post button, check it one more time. As I had stated before, you want to call these scientists, you want to play the scientist game, do the scientist work. Don't think you can watch 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 YouTube videos and think you even come close to the level that these men operate at, men and women. Now, back to what I think and what I've known is going on since the impeachment, since the Russia collusion bullshit, okay, is they cranked it up. The impeachment did not cause a civil war as they had wanted when we were that close. That's the point that the Marines were activated to protect civil authorities. How do I know that? Because I've stated to you before, I go to the military website, I go to the Marine website, and I look at their marching orders, which now they're to protect civil authorities from a cataclysmic event. Do we define a virus as a cataclysmic event? No. Cataclysmic events are volcanoes, earthquakes, planets. Okay, so thumb down on America, right? They've already proved they're bozos, the clowns, right? We've already provided them with enough quantum data with the way we reacted, where they have the next part of their endgame plan already typed out, ready to go. They're 5 miles, 10 miles, 50 miles ahead of us on this game. So, if we behaved like that, I can kind of see the way they're thinking. With mass hysteria, which we could still reach that level, if this panic still keeps continuing and people don't chill out and start caring about each other, the panic level alone on the virus situation will reach critical mass. And they'll be called down anyway. Tanks will roll. Okay? So the end game, I believe, is to have us in control before these things pop through. And I've told you they're popping through, and they have popped through, and they're here. And if you know how to take pictures, you've already caught them without looking at my work. Okay? And I'll do one video on that so I can really show you guys how to do it and the techniques I use to capture what I capture with a simple Moto phone. It's all Darryl's working with here on top of the Ozarks is a broken Moto phone that's already been fried because every time I play with Facebook Messenger, I get on these cams, I post what I'm thinking, my phone begins to do some really, really weird stuff. Okay. So we go from Indonesia, I see all that. I see the two large planets setting above. I think it was Jakarta, but I'm not sure. It'll be beneath the picture. Well, maybe not. I think it was Jakarta or Jambi. Again, the same place. A catastrophic event occurred approximately 8 months ago. So then I bop over to Japan because I know during the day it's dark in Japan. But I know where the oceans are. I know where the skylines are, etc., etc. What do I capture? I capture the moon with a moon behind it. So that tells me the first one's a holographic moon trying to cover the old moon. Now there's two planets right next to it, huge, that are morphing and lighting up and turning into these multicolored holographs. I've got close-ups on those and screenshots that I will be posting. I'm going to try and get it done tonight, but I feel like if I post something really late at night, it's just going to get, like a lot of my stuff does, just get buried in the sauce, and you'll never see it. But that might be the morning. So, I see a flaming pink orb above the ocean. I see a debris field above an ocean, so I know it's not cities, that is second to none. This was clear to me 3 or 4 months ago when I started shooting the debris fields, which some of them look like actual nuclear fire on the horizon. These are the thousands of asteroids that ISON has picked up with any metallic content for 4.5 billion years. The debris field alone stretches for trillions and trillions of miles. Once this is done, we will continue to be pelted by asteroids. It'll be like weather reports. We've got asteroids coming in on Thursday. That's how that's going to work, okay? Now, let me see. In Shizawa, big red planet, also sitting above the ocean, got the debris fields. I don't want to forget anything. You got the big, I've got pictures of skyscrapers. You know, a bunch of lights inside the skyscrapers. But here's the catch. These skyscrapers aren't done being built yet. There's nothing inside. But the debris field is casting its luminosity from each asteroid onto the side of these buildings. Literally. Think of the power that's involved there. So the green is still really prevalent. The green, the red, the blue, the orange. The elemental colors in this whole scenario. I don't know how it all works together, but there's so many metaphors for what those colors mean. I got a couple just weird images in France where the sky is just multicolors. You know, red, green, blue, orange, you know. But the main thing was the planets. You know, the huge planets over Indonesia. You know, I can't define these things. They're huge or they're as big as the moon, the ones sitting next to the moon. And it almost looks like they're in water. Has anybody ever heard that space is water type deal? That could very well be true, the way that these images are. I think that's about it, you know, but we have to understand what's really going on here. And we have to understand that we're making the threat worse by our behavior and by acting out the way that we are. I didn't see anybody freaking out in stores today, but I wasn't comfortable with the level of stock either. And I'm not putting that out there to panic. I'm just saying, we're the ones who are doing this. You know? Again, it just changed me. It was like 15, 20 minutes on the can, and I knew what I already thought was what they're doing. Go to the military websites yourself. Go to the Trumpet in Zion. The cam system I use is Viewer Cams. It's in Google Play Store. Install the system. Learn how to work it. You can go to any country you want, from Vietnam to Bolivia Vietnam to Brazil to Romania to Sweden to Switzerland, wherever you want to go. Or you can go United States and you can actually pick the state or the city where you want to watch. And I tell you, a lot of this is occurring like in places where already I've seen things, but it's getting more intense. The planets are popping through a lot clearer than they were before. That's what these guys are worried about. And again, I wouldn't put that much water with the way that we've behaved. We've behaved as human beings need to behave. We're scared. And they pushed every panic button that's on our bodies that they could possibly push. And then they compound it with cloudy days every day. If you don't think that that's psychological warfare, then you need to understand or read the book Art of War. These guys got the game plan down. And if you don't see this, there's like some of the channels that are pointing out there's some fuckery going on here. There's some trickery. But they want to point it all at an election. No, that's not what it's about. Or they don't really want to give an answer. They just want to throw it out there. I'm introducing to you, which no other channel is doing because nobody else is on these world cams, and that's why I feel the obligation to probably at least hit them every 1 to 3 days, okay? Depends on how my mind holds up. But I do know, I verified the fact that this is a farce, and it's to gain ultimate control. And they have a game plan in effect. They have an agenda. It's called Endgame, and their plan is to win it. Now, we can either help them to win it by panicking and not helping each other and disregarding each other and not coming to some type of unification, which I don't know how here, pretty quick, because we need a bigger boat. But we lose. I don't want to get locked down in Arkansas. My boy is in Texas. If that happens to me, I don't know how I'll survive. I really don't, mentally. And you may want to think about that with your friends in other states also. This is on their board. There is nothing more important. The coronavirus, the calache, all of that. Yes, prayers to all of you. But that's not what it's here for, and that's not what it's being used to cause. It's being used to cause ultimate control. Because when again these pop through, and I do have to refer back to it, we behaved badly. Just over the simple panic of a virus, actual over panic of a virus, we kind of pushed ourselves into this corner. Now, think about it. Think about it. How is 99.9% of just America, let's just talk America, going to behave when they can see a debris field that takes up the whole sky, that consists of thousands of asteroids headed in our direction? How about if a planet pops through that takes up 1/3 of the sky? How do you think that's going to go? So there's a part of me, I have to end this with saying, I understand their logic. Because we've never lost that Stone Age mentality of step over the other person for self. When I've always taught you guys, and I say in every video, it is not about us. It is about helping each other. It's about chilling people out. It's about people understanding. The people who understand, don't go pushing this on the wrong people. I don't want to create a panic. But I think, and I know most of you already know this. You see it, you're seeing it in your dreams like I am. You know. Okay? If you haven't friended me on Facebook, I'm going to end it with this. If you haven't friended me on Facebook, I suggest you do it. My name again is Darryl, D-A-R-R-Y-L, middle name Lynn Johnson. Send me a friend request. I'm receiving them from all over the world. I want to make sure, also if anybody does see this from Facebook, sub, share. We need a bigger boat. We need more people to unify. We can only come together as a collective and rise above the world's problems and rise above any deceit by any entity. And you can only do that with meditation and prayer to ask for the power to rise above any deception, whether it be man or any entity. Meditation is where you'll find your answers. And things will come to you that you weren't even aware of. You'll come out of it knowing things that you didn't know going into it. But I'm going to leave it with that. I just want to let you guys know that the top of their list and the top of our list is not the virus. It's not the virus. So operate on that note. Most importantly, try and keep people calm. Try and keep people calm, but this will pass. And that we win. In the end, we win. But we win by unification. We win by communication. I thought that's a real slick part to this. No large gatherings, huh? No large gatherings. What that does is eliminate any ability for any large gatherings to happen, to even march up on Washington's lawn and say, what are you doing? So that's been minus from the equation, magically. I've got this hat on not to look like Indiana Jones. I've been out working on my truck. Be kind of weird sitting here on my bed with a hat on at night. But to all of you who have supported me, my music, my new subs, I'm here. Again, if you hit me with a friend request on Facebook, that will hook us up on Messenger. In case any lines fall down or any communication falls down, I can still get in touch with y'all. This is all very important. And as I stated before, when I get full swing, it'll probably be more towards a week, I'm going to start using Instagram too. So I'm going to try and use 3 platforms. And we'll see how that works. But our numbers need to increase. Send them here. Send them, let them look at my Facebook. You know, show them your Facebook, show them my work. But most importantly, we got to get more people on board. Because the people who are holding 2,000 subs captive, 250,000 subs captive, have no clue this is happening. They have no clue about anything. Why? Because they don't research it. They don't do the work. So get disinvolved with this community and find, if it's not me, find somebody who is speaking truth or what you feel is the truth. To believe in someone who just makes statements without referencing it or providing data or providing empirical data or providing the resources to allow you to go look this crap up yourself, get disinvolved with that channel as soon as you possibly can, because there's labs involved here. And those channels ultimately will be responsible for the loss of some human lives because they didn't explain it properly. And they didn't do the work involved, and they don't understand the gravity and the weight that having a channel that talks about this type of information holds. They don't feel the weight on their shoulders. They look at their PayPal account. Okay? So, best to y'all. I want to get this out tonight so you guys see it. But I'm going to be back on the cams periodically to keep track. I'll probably hit couple countries tomorrow, just maybe a couple countries a day instead of going around the whole world. That's probably too much. And I'll start posting more of valid truth of what's on the top of their list, what the game plan is, and what needs to be at the top of our list. But again, most importantly, ride the wind. And I think our motto is help others before we help ourselves. You guys have a good night. Thank you. Darryl. Out.